This mystery of matter in itself. This rapper introducing himself as Andrew Mbaruk in a sullen act of madness. Who doesn't lack the phallus? This rapper asks us. Does it take a Lacan to explain this fall into language? An explanation mired in algebraic symbolism, making us tired. This structure of divisions, these letters in a sequence, the selections in a sentence or a rebus, this pretension of the genius in the metonymic play of his psychoanalytic discourse. As DJ Andrew M, the beat scratcher, these idées reçues in his dream catcher, as we raise untruth as the real standard, so she sprays perfume on the green satin. Valid currency, this fiery red hair he holds. Giraffes of uncertainty rising as the periscope, erect behind the curtain, blithe as the hair she combs, as defined a person as Ivan the Terrible, defined as a fact in the dictionary, literary, the style of rap as the pink fairies. You know the pink fairies? Crowd work, live at the cemetery. This rap recorded before a dead audience. The savage warrior red with Ottoman blood. This passage warm as her sex, this modern love, as land reform to the spread of cholera. So self-absorption to quarantine time. Social media and war redefined as peacetime. As fact takes a backseat to his facticity. He fascinates with his tabloid simplicity, reflecting the lack of choice physically embedded as the journalist in history, a jewel asleep on the necklace, so glittery, the truth we speak protected as Hitler's belief in white supremacy is haiku manically. This poetry looms as the sky blue elegy, whether printed or written in the winter of religion impromptu. This liquid script he spittin', volumetrically infinite, his system intricately spinning, this interweb delicious. The poet, steeped in deconstruction, architecture, German idealism, Buddhism, the lenses through which we interpret reality, different forms of psychosis. Whether dreaming the message in Tagalog or freezing to death in Saskatchewan, the snow is nicer than the movies imagine, and no life is ever truly examined. Holy Christ, we'd better mute this rappin', so enticing these moves on his platform, voting thrice for the truth over facticity, preferring the universal vast we. His salary rose as the prick as the cat in heat, creeping through the back streets, this Galaxy 500, or rapping these rhymes in Nunavut, whether freeing the self of all human want, or stealing the wealth of the Yukon. These Europeans speak the Latinate for the human beings in their habitat, betrothed or betrayed in the treaties. These unclothed and laid in open secrecy, whether listening to murmur on the stereo, or missing and murdered in Ontario. The horror of war as we faced it, whether born on the floor of a spaceship, or born of the moron Canadian id. It's normal to score, though I aim to miss. Interpret the code in this poetry, so steeped in the modes of knowing me. These forms of psychosis, so bold and greenish orange. I hope this is potent weed. Yes, that's good shit indeed. I've gotta confess, I had to look into being made as a mafioso, and now I carry a Glock and dobro everywhere I go. Freestyle as the fellowship, this green style of yellowness, effortlessly shaping these words with her nether lips. She's the poet.
What does it mean to be me? What does it mean to be you? What does it mean to be living? What does it mean to be true? Hypotheses, which chronic leads to the top of my crown like bearer to a steed. Let's see till death comes knocking down. Jungle grottos like the humble mottos. Felt like swamp thing under potholes. Lost my body, still human thoughts though. Organic dates like I'm a fossil. Lost roads ain't too silky. Language known as pithy. Simply smooth as filth is conjured like cognac by Chris Bridges. Witness lips of wittiness. Prettiness was set aside for honest views of litter spit. Hempwicks lit, the empress thick. Miss those times too often. Need to push myself out of this hammered down coffin. Suffered long enough, nobody on suicide watch. Popped out catastrophic cries, sunlight new and hot. Fuck you thought I'd stay buried forever? I'm on 40 chests while y'all patterns are still checkered. Praying like my homies facing Mecca. Counting up my mock-up from immaculate records. Mock my name like flock of flame, no karma coming. Try to keep it civil, but obedience a struggle.
Yeah. What does it mean to be green? What does it mean to be blue? What does it mean to be spinning? What does it mean to be human? Scaling the building, holding a hostage, elevating the poem and dropping it. Romantic, the golden prophet, his slow passage from cocoa to chocolate. Infinity's distant relatives, this demolished literary edifice. The green reasserting its novelty, the meanings of words through the concrete. Poetry lost in deep time, alas. These boulders, rocks, and free wildcats. Dante in comedy style in his raps. Until a zombie tribe attacks. A Future by Cormac McCarthy. The rumor of form in his artistry. A hint of before the avant-garde in these rivers that roar in random harmonies. Untruths as vomit upon the pavement. His Proustian prognostication. Inhuman this autumn of the nation. The fumes of a smog aloft as plains and Socrates' daemon, and the dog obeying him. Socrates' daemon, and the dog obeying him. Socrates' daemon, and the dog obeying him. Leaves of Plutarch. Leaves of Plutarch.
clock ticks towards the apocalypse soon. Hit the pause button quick to quit apocalyptic moods. Is doom spelled backwards? It's apocryphal tunes or retroactive prophylactic wrapped in plastic, wrapped like static rhythm magic on the mattress, spitting bad words pinned by black dirt, sipping brandy in the dead of night. I might just conjure up another spirit as I write neath this red moon, like ass of baboon, like owls that howl who, like I have a clue. Well, I think it's you. Merrily meek and barely scary. Hide and go seeker, stay and go steady. I never cheap, just sleep with the teddy. The taste of my teeth is always so heady. I'm a soothsayer to your tooth fairy. I'm a good prayer to your prose airy. I carry torch to your torch. Carry a pigeon tongue caught by the cat on for the flavor now and later. Bad as Coldplay, though I'm still a cooler player. Whoa, a cryptic critic of the culture, threading lyrics through needles like the gaze of my eyes from peeking straight through the people. Guess the system's going down like the kombucha mushroom people, like the firmament of fermented sea notes in the sky with Kris Kringle and the great Bambino. Whoa, yo, 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 yo. His verbs running water, crazed as if pound wrapped. Nouns a drunken stammer, cicadas in the soundtrack. Running naked without a wrap, concealing his feeler antenna for flowering fact and facticity. Classic grad villainy, grading the papers in a stack past the bitter tea, when it's revealed to his core voters that his New Deal was a warm soda. Through the windshield of his Ford Focus, call it spinning wheels over orange rosebush, rapping till the end of can lit, propelled by the Penguin classics upon the bending path of this instrumental madness. Watching Rauschenberg paint, walking around on the first date, pleasure in a foamy pint, as letters over the phone tonight, TV on the phonograph, VHS via text message, creative jesting for the monarchy of needs communal the kingdom, watching the trees inhuman through the window that photocopies the snow blowing softly on the cocoa or coffee. As ultramagnetic horsemen, in love with revenge as the Northmen, befuddling my friends as the corks spin, enigmatic and vapid the four winds, swirling as the ballerina's warped disc in an apartment full of orchids, with a heart full of New York hip-hop, his thought cloud formless, foolish words in a chaos, cool as earth in a clay pot, too certain as Drake songs, using adverbs to explain his songs softly. This Mephistopheles, walking the sea, his breath is frosty, hunting the heavy woolly mammoth, running redly, this fully active woman ready for a woman's planet, fear of a black passage, don't catch it as so bounces the basketball, his vocals off your castle walls as he makes them a hot or cold meal, speed racer in the automobile. These tears are fake, robots don't feel. Free play, that's God's whole deal.
I had a feeling his erection was rigged since the greeting. The 7:36 p.m. evening, dead since he lifted his green ring, sucking attention in a blue spiral, unleashing the tape on new vinyl, and ghosting the dame with no clue what I know of cocaine as the glue that binds us all. The prophets, new disciples, copying his truths into a Bible. These grandfathers of the new rhyme approach, the gravid authors of a human mind collective in its outreaching tentacles. Blacker than Plato the rhapsode, recanting his Hegel in the palinode. Blacker than pavement, those assholes, planning a vacation in the chateau. Blacker than the mating antelopes, the vacuum of space and rap, yo. Whiter than crack on the stovetop, lighting a match on the stovetop. Whiter than having a fro fraught with lice in the black curls a grow op. Whiter than growing your pet plant, writing in snow or cement with your hand. If fun is the soul of your sex raps, as running from an exploding meth lab, don't force the foam to form, just let it splash, as the Oreo forming his text black, and whiter than doves when they weep for us, crying so much that their tear ducts sigh for the trouble of weeping so much. You cry as the mother of Jesus. That's Mary regarding you, Judas. Your dick that's hardly true nor humorous, as the shit that Mbaruk said, though forbidding as Mars through the telescope.
I'll never shake the hand of God because our heights don't match. These lifted shoes are vacant in the coming months, like toothless tubes of toothpaste melt in summer sun. Maybe I don't understand the way the toothpaste works, or what the content should contain unless it's on my shirt. I'll never shake the hand of God with toothpaste on my shirt, unless it's just a shadow but then the height again. If more than myself greets you with some clothing stain, adjust your shoes to shrink, cause we won't break the cane. Oh, there it goes again. You black emperors that hold the speed of God within. I got vocals near my sock drawer printed from a laser jet that spoke the name of God's in matrix dotted purple sunset. A unicorn earring holder from a Christmas with my sister's second grade, collecting more dust than folded paper bearing toothpaste stains that smudged the hands of God. I thought a joke or something similar. I had no shaving cream at that age, but tucked a shirt under my shirt in case of stains, but just forgot. I must have forgotten how to work my hands and palms and fingers as the bones touched his. I walked for hours kicking rocks into the parking lot where buses lined the curbs and names were shouted into smoke. I walked away from hands that shake, went home and brushed my teeth until they bled. My shirt was tucked beneath my bed.
Born an Ahab of language and avant-garde, forming a stage for to play with his savage bars, forcing shape onto clay in a passage charged was more to play with the tape, refracting his art, caught in this medium postmodern, from the coffin speaking the mortified author. His style of crazy ejected from the bug house, these rhymes making me epic as the fun house, photocopied in the corridors of time. These angels obscure, making sure things are unclear for the reader. or drinking a beer with the reader. The poet playing the ancient babbling bard, born an Ahab of language and avant-garde. His first wail, the speech delivered. Purple waves his dream of winter. In a black coat, the snow darken him. Radical, the post-Marxian, respectful of dead mystics, perfecting the red delicious, collecting as cassettes Pacific, his soul afloat. Imagistic, the dodo, a cognate of religion, relative to the pigeon, inventing an ideal me, collecting a final leaf, yellow in the cold winter tree, echoing those old poetries. Microphone check. Alright. As the division of grace, like nukes in outer space for fun, making new planetoids impermanent, the UFO lambdoid in the firmament, and incredibly smooth his fidelity to the truth. These seahorses adrift in the cosmos, mysterious forces whispering hollow, clear his porpoise swimming in the watery ghost. This lunar abstraction, his poetry comical, in tune with unfashioned, the cold in his nostrils is frost in season, rhyming Wallace Stevens and sonnet sequence. These gods and demons, making a mockery of foppery in hip-hop, talking his comedy a Godspeed to Mr. Frost, digging unconscious ideas to the surface, surfacing in the freestyle. The doer of fair and euphoria, the lunar he wears as an aura, unsightly his candle funereal, the science he reads in gaiety, the pirate's fierce elaiety, the strange sea rising to greet this space for me, my place to be, rising as raw from the nightness, writing the laws with his license. His poetic license, so dead and alive the lens. Yeah. This Coltrane doodling on the saxophone, a poet playing his blues to relax at home, this Wordsworth of happy rainbows, the servant herd attacking Blake's poems, rhyming crazily as Lady Be anciently, this Andrew Mbaruk in the place to be, rolling in the paper his weed, a rap blog printed in the pages of a duotang analog, the human stain, the black cop sought as the kernels of apricots, fathering Colonel Kurtz, that astronaut, feasting on our woe with his negroes past the guacamole, traveling to the road's end and drawing its continuation with his golden pen, inspiring those latent Poseidons to rise from the grave and hold the trident, dividing the states as Joe Biden, rising from the waves upon the horizon. These rays stung the old seafarer, admonishing the sun told to be carefuler, instilling in every one a freak terror so chilling. Instead he lusts to sleep with Erica Badu, poetic as Mina Loy, moaning as your mental is teased with a toy, Those Samuel Johnsons are indignant, as bronzing the song this darker pigment offends their paint green and Celtic, though they know it's the game made me selfish. Thermometrically it's 80 degrees Celsius, a castle hot as the mixtape we sell to this throng, nodding as I rap the truth, effacing the selves those colonizers valued. This I with no specific referent, denied his home amid those relevant in history, nameless builders of reality, dragging the myriad bricks over sand in the heat, building a pyramid for humanity, spilling his id on the back seat, as the limo crocodiles through the cosmopolis, biting his father style true as the clock's ticks. They're talking shit, and you know, I always do the opposite of whatever those popular kids want from this hip-hop business as EPMD. Are you hip?
Anonymous, internet obvious trolls amongst roboticness, the rottenness, bodiless souls. Dishonest as your father is disappointed in you being a botanist. As geeky as your hobby is, it's still seemingly profitless. Freckled and fraudulent, the message is ominous. The joke's at the bottomless, trying to do my job with this. Being told what my problem is. Could you get your dad at home and get him to stay out of the offices? I've kinda had enough of this, so I offer this. They can smash my albums with the properness, burn the disc so they can drop the shit and drag it through the mud like it's galoshes. So give me some advice I won't take. You know, I promise this, I'm patient, but I don't take like the obnoxiousness, so walk with it. Hecklers Anonymous, internet obvious trolls amongst roboticness, the rottenness, bodiless souls. Dishonest as your father is disappointed in you being a librarian. He says, you're an embarrassment, why you learn to be a real man and study prairies or riparian? Heckling parents in the park, heckling kids in the shopping carts. When they can't see you, you feel smart. If there's no critic, then it's not art. Yelling at clouds, telling them how much they're slacking. Cheering the rain splash and keep me laughing. People hassle my peak rapping. I treat them bad like fecal matter on my sneaker tracks. Can't stop my strut, leave them mashed up in a piece of grass.
The space voyager, bored of my set, made annoyinger by the words he said. As the performer I heard him and said, give this man a mic, let's learn from his example. And toward me he crept through the audience, forward through the sweat, and when my song was over, the man shook his head, and gripping my shoulder, this is what he said. Pleased as Plath my implausible plot, the blade's evening my falling locks, the barber darker than Kant or Locke, and smarter than Harvard his somber thoughts, as he snipped here and there my follicle crop, clipping my hair for the cosmonauts. Now I stand in line for the bread with a number tattooed on my forehead as I slumbered. Now I navigate a dystopia, math made for the holy ones who castigate those phony fucks with random names like Sophie state disappears me. I told the man, yo, it's been a pleasure. And that's how you handle a mean heckler. Unlimited microphone, no texting. Limited microphone, no texting. Limited microphone, no texting. Unlimited microphone, no texting. Before I knew how to confuse in rhymes, flowering through these rap suffused times, behind the moon with the moonshine, desiring you as my through line, unstable thoughts in my dark place, between Aesop Rock and a hard place. This free tape lost in the yard sale on eBay, thought to be far greater. Par for the course, these defiant, charging on horse at these giants, on Martian resources reliant. These artists who morph with the science, from darkness divorced as the tribal men who harness the horrid leviathan. Apart from the forces that rhyme within, the quarks they report and their quiet twin, the anti-quark. Limited microphone, no texting. Limited microphone, no texting. Unlimited microphone, no texting. Unlimited microphone, no texting. Involved in Andrew's cunning to walk hand in hand into nothing. This culture of things with no essence, and this cult that brings folks together as the king with no editor. Spitting golden measures. Words fail us, that's obvious enough. Words fail us falling in love. Flirtatious and naughty these nuts. Curvaceous your body the drug. So gaily rebuking his poetry, the way we refuse to be phony. In faith, Mbaruk is too jokey, displaying the blue drip emoji. Unlimited microphone, no texting. Unlimited microphone, no texting. Unlimited microphone, no texting. Unlimited microphone, no texting. Mastering his art in the Pomo City, dancing in the dark as a hobo hippie who knows my history, the Vancouver stars. Andrew Mbaruk says, hold my whiskey, Mr. Jones. Something is happening here, it's a poem. Stuck in my black beard, I pull it out, and everyone laughs in fear. Wait, why is everybody acting so weird? It's just a rap made unclear by the fact it nears the distant referent. Blackberry beer, so this is what heaven meant. As Modigliani is reclining nude, exposing the body, this rhyming fool supine on the sofa, his eyes raised, fiery, his soul in desire ablaze, wilder days, those fingers in my grave, fingering earthy dirt, it's not my space, dig this reality soil's intelligence, reacting to your pointed questions, his force fields, poetic effluence, four wheels that tread as the elephants, trampling decorum, forgetful of nothing, this random performance of clever constructions, designs of an art history major, throwing light into the darkness of the haters. Every soul should feel tied to the ground. pity the plane as it flies around your city, erased in the rising cloud. His fist in your face, so illogical, the sort of man you don't follow, choreographing the chronicle. This elevated man made a great failure, sketching his wasteland on the waste paper, pressing play and beating as the pacemaker, message on the tape, repeating as waged labor, slave labor, repeating as paint layers, propaganda for euphony, rhymes estranged neighbors. Some humans try to lift the world and get called assholes. This never happened to Lupe Fiasco. He could walk through toxic walls unaware, or stand on the corner hawking his wares. Meow. His scribbles on the mural darkly, simple as the plural heart of me. Literal, these food artifices, bursting as the words in harmony, colors expressed in high German, these sundry pleasure diversions, painting truth upon the firmament, raining news his song a whirlwind, playing through this long internment, this happening out of control, this cat drinking vodka from the bowl, these passengers rocking the boat, these random words caught in his soul, black as the bargain with Satan, his soul, Andrew Mbaruk as a radio, tuned to the ancient bard's frequency, new to this cave's dark secrecy, these shady Virgils through the heart's scenery, as you pardon his Swahili Akili, as beef heart he sweetly, sweetly bulbous and fast, culture clash, Anakaluthon, my weapon, hunting these unwitting bass, bubbling as math, foaming as math, going bananas and nuts, the only rapper I trust. Yeah. My literature hilarious as fish in an aquarium. They swim to and fro as in the film by Truffaut. His blue notes projected verbally. Eric Dolphy on the microphone, tearing his poetry, burning this xylophonic flow. This xylophonic flow, verbally Eric Dolphy on the microphone, tearing